Good morning and welcome to today's Cycle News. My name is Rebecca Lee, your host for today's Economies in Depth. In this segment, we'll be examining the economy of a former Soviet Union state in Eastern Europe known as the Latvia Republic. In 2013, Latvia had a GDP of 38.87 billion and a GDP per capita of 19,000, all measured in dollars. GDP, also known as gross domestic income, measures the monetary value of all goods and services produced within a nation's borders in a given amount of time. GDP can also measure growth within the nation. Latvia had a 4% growth rate in 2013. As shown in the possibility curve, Latvia is producing under full employment due to a 9.8% unemployment rate. Therefore, actual output is increasing, which may also suggest a short-run economic growth. Economic growth may also be at the expense of the environment and often does not reflect inequity within a nation. Moving on to inflation, Latvia holds a 0.4% inflation rate in 2013. At first glance, 0.2% may seem low and stable for an inflation rate. However, Latvia is only 0.2 away from deflation. The dangers of deflation can be detrimental to a nation's economy. In other words, a decrease in a nation's price levels over time may lead to negative effects on its economy. Due to deflation, households will expect prices to lower in the future and therefore they will save more and spend less. As a result, the aggregate demand of Latvia will decrease as households' consumption is a component of AD. Firms will also decrease their output over time, since they will expect less demand for their goods and services due to lower household demand. This decrease in confidence of the future economy will also lead to lower AD, as investment is another component of aggregate demand, as shown on the graph. The decrease in AD may lead to a recession, since a recession is caused by a reduced output of goods and services in a nation between two time periods. In this case, lower firms' investment and household demand have caused AD to shift to the left. As shown on the diagram, due to the sticky wage period of SRAS, firms will lay off workers in the short run, which will further contribute to the existing unemployment rate in Latvia. As seen on the Phillips curve, Latvia has a relatively high employment rate of 9.8%, as well as a relatively low inflation rate of 0.4%. The low inflation rate and high unemployment rate of Latvia again shows that it is in a recession, or more specifically, recovering from a recession due to a 4% growth rate in 2013. Knowing that Latvia is recovering from a recession indicated on the business cycle, unemployment in Latvia can be categorized as demand-deficient unemployment, which is caused by a lack of demand for the nation's output. In other words, Latvia's high unemployment is caused by a decreased AD. Unemployment also has its consequences. It may lead to poverty, lower household income, and pressure to lower wages in the long run. In the long run, unemployed workers will begin to accept lower wages, which will reduce production costs for firms. In other words, SRAS will shift out due to a lower production cost, and firms will begin hiring more workers. This also means that output will return to full employment level and wages are lower, but prices too. This indicates an economy recovering from recession in the long run. This may be Latvia if it continues to recover from recession. However, it still has some work to do to reach the natural rate of unemployment, which is around 3.5%. On a positive note, Latvia holds a relatively average Gini index of 35.2, meaning that income distribution in Latvia is not hugely uneven. Keep it up, Latvia. And that concludes today's segment of Economies in Depth. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.